Hi everyone. In this third video in our series, actually fourth video in our series, we're going to make it a bit more interesting. So far we sent a very basic object that only has ID and name, and obviously we would like to send something more interesting, more complex, and let's go and also add the order details so we can see every product that every order has. And let's go into that. So we've had so far the order object, and we've seen how we create mock data for it. We actually don't need that anymore. Let's say before we do that. We actually don't need that anymore. And let's add another object here, order details. Okay, that will have, say, public string product name, public int quantity, public int unit price. Actually sounds like a decimal to me, but let's go with decimal. Cool. Now, in order to populate that, we need to add to the orders an array of order details. So we say here public order details array get set, and we call it details. Cool. Next thing we need to do is populate it with data. So previously we had this business process that runs on the orders table and creates the order ID itself. Let's add a helper method even here in the order details. Let's say public order details array get details for int order ID. And just like before, we're going to create a var array equals new list of order details. And to that list we'll add, and let's have the order details table and the business process that will iterate it. And we'll add to it od.order_id is equal to the order ID that we received as a parameter. And for each row, we will add to the array a new order details object with quantity equals order details of quantity, unit price equals od.unit price, and we also add a relation for the products between the, we're going to add an inner join relation where product is equal to order details dot product ID, and then we can say here that product name equals product name string. And probably forgot to do a return like I usually do. Cool. And all we have to do now is in our code that loads the order itself, we're going to say order details equals order details get details for order ID. So now that we've built it and hopefully haven't done simple syntax error, we can refresh our page. And we can see that we got all the orders, but obviously nothing has changed in our UI. But if we look closely at the network tab of our browser, we can see that the return value, every order now has details, ID of one, name of Lazik, and details of the order IDs that it has. Product name chai, quantity 1, unit price 10. Cool. Now let's add that to our HTML. We'll go back to source, and we'll say here, every list item will also have another list for the products, and it will have a list item with ng repeat for D in details. Now I gotta admit, I don't know if it's a capital D or not. It's a capital D. So for D in details, in x.details, and we can then put here the D dot product name, and let's see how that interacts with what we wanted to do. Okay, so we have the products over here. We can make a nice little title saying H3 items. Let's make it an H4 just not to make it too dramatic, but you can very easily see how it all adds up, and you can see the data that we've added. Of course, this is not nicely formatted, and I can do a better job formatting it, but it's good enough to start with. And we can also do cool things like saying here, actually let's spend a bit of time formatting it. Let's do a table and a th of product. So we need to have a tr, th slash tr, and tr with this ng repeat. And td and slash td and eventually slash tr, and I think that should do everything I've done over here. And we can say here d dot product. Let's see what that got us. Okay, and let's have a look at inspecting the element here. Okay, so probably I've done something wrong in terms of spelling. Let's have a look again. We can look always at the network tab, see the name, and I should have written product name instead of product. Yeah, JavaScript is fun like that. You can do these kind of mistakes all day long. But hey, the best thing that there is out there right now. And yay, product. Let's add another header, total, and another td. D dot unit price times d dot quantity. And assuming I haven't made any spelling mistakes, we can get this nice little grid going for us. Let's add a new BR over here just to get it a bit more spaced out. And here we are. We have the order, we have the products in each order, and we can see it. And next, let's go and send it back to the server. Let's do a save over here, and we get the OK, but let's look at the objects that we get when we save. I'll put a breakpoint in the save method, and you'll be able to see, if we run it in debug, that we get a complex object with order and all the different details in it. Okay? So we can start sending more complex objects than just rows in a table. You can have a master detail relationship. You can have complex objects that go back and forth. And you can also have simple objects to go back and forth. So that's it to the basic part of this series. This is where we showed how can we leverage Angular on the client side and MVC.NET on the server side to interact back and forth and send data between the two. And later we'll do another video about my ideas of breaking the box. But for now, this should give you everything you need to get started with that. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.